Hey, what up everyone? I'm Cindy Cool, and this is EverQuest Project 1999. And today we're back in Upper GUK, but we're doing a camp this time. We were in the Scryer room, camping the Scryer. Scryer dropped some pretty good stuff. Bracelet of woven grass. Sells for around 100 plat. It's a pretty good bracelet. I think it has like 4 intelligence and HP or something like that. Pretty good for a Necro, that HP. I think it's HP. I don't know. Look it up. The Scryer, 100 plat, bracelet of woven grass. And that's its common drop. It also drops an orb of summoning, which isn't worth as much, and I don't think that many people use. And then some sort of mask for a quest or an enchanter, something with enchanter maybe. But yeah, Bracelet of Woven Grass. As you see, I'm typing there. I started typing while I was playing, so I'd remember stuff to say while I was doing it. But we have a story to talk about. Me and Faceless One went to the Befallen basement, and we're recording. And I kind of touched on this a little bit in one of my Gems of War videos, but I know some of you aren't going to be watching that. But I just typed what that was. Hold on a sec. Let me go back. I want to... Yeah. Bracelet of Woven Grass. I want to see what that says. 15 AC, 20 HP, Orb of Summoning. You know, that doesn't sound too great because I think it's a primary. You have to use it in your primary, but it's alright. But that's the rare thing that drops, actually. The common thing is the bracelet, and it's worth 100 plat, and it's nice. So, you just got to get the Scryer to pop. That's the problem. But this is the camp. I'm sitting right where the Scryer pops, so I'll tell you everything about it in a second. I just want to tell this quick story about me and Faceless One in the basement of Befallen recording. We tried to go live. It did not work. So we started to do a video, and I'm using the same recording software I'm using right here. It's a 16-minute spawn, I'm saying. Yes, everything in GUK is 16-minute spawn. We went to the basement. We got the smoke glass key. We went there, and we made it down there and everything. We were recording, and we got every single drop you can get there. We got the dagger, we got the robe, we got the Claymore, we got there's these boots that this monk was there that wanted. We were in Befallen. We were the only 2 people in there, and we went to the basement, and we went into the smoke door, and we turned. And there's an elf skeleton. We fought that. We went through the foss wall. We went back that way to the right, if you know Befallen, and we went to the left, and we started killing the placeholder for the Thermagist. It took us around probably 6 or 7 placeholders, ghoul placeholders, before we got the Thermagist. And as soon as we got there, in that room, there was a monk just feigned deathed out in there, and we were talking with him, and he was waiting for some sort of he was waiting for the Thermagist because Thermagist drops some boots, I guess, that are good for monks. Like one of the top best in slot type things for before you go to, I don't know. Anyway, he wanted some boots that the Thermagist dropped, but he kind of logged in there as we were kind of entering the room. So, but he was nice and everything. He just said, just let me know if the boots drop, and I'll just let you guys have the camp, which I think whatever. So that was cool. We all agreed, and it took us like 6, 7 placeholders, and it was Befallen is like an 18-minute spawn, so you only get like 3 per hour, and we had to have killed at least 6 before we got the Thermagist. But when she finally popped, she dropped her whole loot table. She dropped the dagger, the robe, another robe, a gossamer robe or something, or damask or something, and the boots. So we're trying to get this guy to come. He was AFK, so we're like jumping up and down on him, trying to make him hear us grunting as we jump and everything. And anyway, as we were doing that, I would go pull the Shadow Knight, because you can go. There's like 3 ways to go once you go past the foss wall. You can go straight, you can go left, and you can go right. Straight is nothing. It's just the well. If you remember by Skeleton Lord, you fall down the well. I'm typing stuff in chat too, so if you want to read that. I want to tell the story, but I'll talk about the camp in a minute. I'm sorry. If you go straight, that's where you fall down the well. So if you fall down the well, you're screwed usually. But I'm starting to think that maybe I could fall down the well and be okay because there's only 3 mobs that spawn there. And if I fall down with my pet, maybe. But I don't know if the pet would come with me or not. So I don't know. I might try it one day, just as a video, falling down the well and befallen, just to see what happens. It sounds like a good video, right? But to the right is the Shadow Knight, like the one I was camping with the barbed arm plates. And that Shadow Knight drops the BBC, I think it's called, the bone-bladed Claymore, which only sells for like 20 plat, but it's pretty cool. And it sells pretty quick once you get one. But decent little spot. Only bad thing about it is everything down there is lore, where you can't have more than one, so it's not a good spot to camp for money, because once you get everything, you're gonna have to leave and go sell it and then come back, and that's not cool. So you could go down there and do that for a minute. You know, it might take a while for the Thermagist to pop anyway. It might take the SK, he pops every time almost, and he drops the sword every time. We had like 3 swords down there. We both got one, and then one rotted on the corpse because nobody else was in the zone except for the monk, who of course didn't want some heavy sword that's only worth 20 plat. But anyway, so we destroyed that basement. I wish I'd got it on recording, man. I recorded, and I kept saying while we were recording that I hope this is recording. And anyway, in the end, it didn't record. I think the same problem I had when I was down there with the Necro. I think I went too long, and this recording software just doesn't like it if you go more than like an hour and 15 minutes or so. Like the most I've ever done, I think you guys saw, was probably that last video or the one before that where I went like an hour and 5 minutes or so. I don't know what the exact problem is, but the only thing that's happened both times I lost the recording was that I went like 2 hours or more. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to keep testing it. Maybe not test it. Maybe just don't mess with it, and just if I hit an hour, I need to hit stop and save it. But the only other bad part about that is I can't add 2 videos together with this crap. So I don't know. It's like a one-shot type thing. I might just have to start recording when stuff gets good and then end it before it gets to an hour. That's like the only thing I can think of right now. I was also sent some feedback when the error happened. I sent some feedback to ShareX, and I saw some of the problems in similar problems that other people had submitted were about sound. So it may not be my fault that the sound's not working also. So I might be able to figure that out by looking at the feedback. Maybe they give some suggestions on how to fix that. So we might fix the sound soon. So that's a good thing that came out of it. But I was so mad yesterday that I did not get that recording. And I feel really bad for Faceless One. You know, I apologize. I'm sorry, man. Really wanted to get that because we're probably never going to go back down there because we got everything. It was awesome. We got her whole drop table, and then we got the SK. The only thing we didn't get down there was the female Dark Elf Shadow Knight on the other side of the basement, which we went, and when we were done, we were about to leave, and we had everything, and there's nothing else we could get on the one side. We went to the other side to poke around and see if we could find the other Shadow Knight, and we killed its placeholder, and we're like, we're done. It's been like it was like 4 or 5 hours we were down there, killing everything, crushing it. Not a lot of experience, and I did die. My freaking pet fell down into the basement while we were going after the smoked glass key. Luckily, Badger didn't die, but I died. My pet fell into the basement. That's the first time that's ever happened. So guess it can happen. But let's talk about this camp right here. It stinks we lost that recording, and I had to tell the story because we did do the basement, and we cleared it, and it was awesome, and it was me and him, just me and him, a Necro and a Druid, level 25 in the basement, and we got to help a monk out while we were doing it. So I'll show you the robe in the next video because I can at least show you the robe. But here we are in the Scryer Camp. If you want to know how to get to the Scryer Camp finally after 9 minutes in this video, what you do is you take a right. You come into the zone, first of all, and then you just follow, you do right wall strats, and eventually you'll get to the Scryer. It's pretty easy. You have to pass up the spiders to get there, and you're going the right way if you see the crocodile in the little nook and cranny, and then you see the spiders, and you pass all the spiders. Then there's some frogs standing outside of like a little stairway down. And if you see that, you're going the right way. That's the stairs that are right behind me right now where I'm sitting. Then you'll see this little room, and I always count this as part of the camp, this little room, because you can get experience while you're farming the Scryer, as long as you're not more than level 25, I think. I was doing this at 24 to get to 25. I think some of it was green, a little bit. Maybe not, though. Maybe I was 25 when it turned green. I think it was all blue when I was 24. But you'll have 3 enemies in this room here, so you'll have to break those up. It's not that hard. Like, usually there's a shaman, you can burn it down, and then there's a lower level warrior, and then, like, maybe one tough one, but that's it. Then, as you can see what I'm looking at there, a Froglet Gaz Shaman. There's 3 that spawn up there, and they're linked, so you can't get one at a time, I don't think, but they're not that hard either. They're all shamans, so you can burn them down, but they can also burn you down, so watch out. But that's where the Scryer spawns. When I seen him spawn, he spawned in the right. There's 3 spawn points up there. He spawned in the rightmost one, but I think he can spawn in any one of them, because I think I've seen him on a picture spawn in the leftmost. But yeah, so there's 3 shaman up there. There's also, there's a corner to the right and a corner to the left, like right where I'm sitting, but on the other side of the wall. In the corner of that big room there with the shaman in it, if you look at the wall to the right there, and then you go to the corner, there's a frog that spawns there, and then if you go to the left and look at the corner, there's a frog that spawns there. And they don't attack you while you're fighting either group, unless you kind of let them get too close. But they're singles, so you can fight those by themselves as long as they don't get too far away from their spawn point. You can fight them by themselves, so they're not that big of a deal. It's just something to add into your spawn. But yeah, I'm trying to break up the room, and eventually I do, and it's really nice. So yeah, told you how to get here. The spawn timer is 16 minutes. The Scryer drops a good bracelet that sells for 100 plat. Experience is good up until like 25. I think 25 it slows down because some of it starts to turn green. But at 24, it was going pretty good. I got like half a level really fast, and I think it's 125% experience modifier in here. ZEM, Zone Experience Modifier. Faceless One was talking about that. He's killing some evil eyes in the Gorge, I think, and it's got a really good experience modifier. But yeah, good camp, and I might do it. I might camp it one more time, but I don't know. We'll see, because stuff's starting to turn green, and I need to get some experience to keep up with Badger, Faceless One. So I don't know if I'm going to camp this again for experience, but I might do it for money, because the bracelet sells for 100 plat. That's better than waiting for Shadow Knight and Befallen to spawn and maybe drop a 30 plat arm plates that take a couple days to sell. I mean, that's nice for level 20, but I think for level 30, level 25, something like that, this is a little bit better for money. But also really good for experience up until 25, like I'm saying. But yeah, there's also the spider camp is pretty close to this, so if you are feeling froggy, get it? You could go and try to get the spider as well. I was doing that, actually. I was camping this when I got the bracelet, which I didn't. And this isn't the time where I got the bracelet. I come back later and camp it, and I do get the bracelet. The Scryer finally spawns. He wasn't that tough, really. Supposedly he's an enchanter and he can take your pet, but he didn't. He wasn't that big. He wasn't that tough for me. I burned him down really fast. But where to sit in this room, I don't know. I kind of just go with the flow. Whatever's about to pop next is kind of where I sit. But I saw somebody sitting up here, but over by that torch on the wall. So in that corner over there, that's where they were sitting. So when it was camped, and I yell out to the zone, camp check. Somebody says Scryer, but I still came here anyway just to make sure, just to look around. And yeah, that's where they were sitting, up on the thing in the left-hand corner. And eventually they left. I kept checking, and eventually they were gone, so I took it over, and that's when I got the bracelet. So if they just would have stayed like an hour longer, they would have got the bracelet. But yeah, good for 24, level 24. Good for even. I'm sure you might even need the bracelet. It's a pretty nice bracelet, especially at level 20, level 30. Well, you know, level 15 to 25, pretty good bracelet. 100 plat. But other camps we might check out in this zone. We're thinking about doing the Ancient Crocodile next Tuesday. So look out for that. We're gonna at least record it. At least try to record it. We're trying to get level 30 before next Tuesday so we can camp this Ancient Crocodile down here. So I'm going to scout it out for us and see if I can maybe get a camp close to it and just, you know, or maybe get in a group there. Maybe I'll try that. That way I can see what's up with it. So I'm more knowledgeable when it's next Tuesday and we're trying to camp it because it had the crocodile drops some nice leggings and arms, I think, gator scale. And I can use the arms. Yeah, I can use the arms. I think there is one more in that room. Time to something. Break him from those two I just did. Then next time we will do those two I just did. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, there's 3 that spawn in that room, and there's 3 that spawn up here, and 3 that spawn up here are always shaman, and then the 3 in that room over there is usually like a shaman. Hope that didn't show too much. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, consider joining, it helps a lot. And I'll see y'all next time. Comment below. Peace.